Okay, you are welcome to another literature class. This time we are looking at the same poetry, Not My Business, an African poem by NIYI Osundare. But before we get into that, I promised in the previous class that I'm going to explain what poetry is and talk about few things. A poetry is an expression of feelings written in lines and stanzas. Okay? And it is important we understand this. And I'm going to get into Not My Business by NIYI Osundare. It is a protest poem that explores the themes of oppression, indifference, and collective responsibility under an authoritarian rule. Summary of the poem is that the speaker recounts how others are violently taken by authorities. Akoni is beaten, Danladi is dragged off, and Chinwe's house is bulldozed. In each stanza, the speaker, that is the poetic personnel, dismisses the events with what business of mine is it? That is, he doesn't care. Says, so long they don't take the yam from my savoning mouth. Eventually, the poetic personnel himself is taken away, revealing the consequences of apathy and inaction, which is so common with the citizens of Nigeria at that point. Now, let's look at brief themes, some themes in this poem. Oppression and injustice is an important theme. Brutality by an oppressive regime. 2. Indifference and apathy. The speaker's initial selfishness reflects societal passivity, nonchalant attitude of the populace. Consequences of silence. The final stanza warns that ignoring injustice doesn't make one safe. Yoruba people would say, ikú tó ń pa ojúgbà ẹni, òwe ló ń pa fúnni. And we see that happening to the poetic personnel at the end of the day when this crisis eventually gets to him. Collective responsibility. Everyone is vulnerable when rights are ignored. When you ignore the rights of your neighbor, definitely when it comes to you, it will be more terrible. The structure and style of the poem. Free verse. No set rhyme scheme. Repetition of what business of mine is it? Emphasizes detachment. Direct, accessible language builds tension until the speaker's fate mirrors that of the others. Here is the full text of the poem, Not My Business by NIYI Osundare. I read. They picked Akoni up one morning, beat him soft like clay, and stuffed him down the belly of a waiting jeep. What business of mine is it? So long they don't take the yam from my savoning mouth. They came one night, booted the whole house awake, and dragged Danladi out Then off to a lengthy absence. What business of mine is it? So long they don't take the yam from my savouring mouth. Chinwe went to work one day only to find a job gone. No query, no warning, no probe. Just one neat sack for a stainless record. What business of mine is it? So long they don't take the yam from my savouring mouth. And then one evening, as I sat down to eat my yam, a knock on the door froze my hungry hand. The Jew was waiting on my bewildered lawn, waiting in his usual silence. This is the poem, Not Business of Mine, by NIYI Osundare. You see the nonchalant attitude of the entire populace while the neighbors were crying until it came to affect him. Now I will leave you with an assignment. You're going to see 10 objective questions. Please take your time to answer those questions and answer me. Just choose A, B, C, D. All right? A, B, C, D, A, and so on. Send to me on my WhatsApp line. It's showing on your screen right now. We shall see in the next class. Thank you and God bless.